This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by North Shore Community College. If you have the will to attend college, we have the way for you to earn your degree.
Hello and welcome to LCTV News. I'm Dani Vittori, and this week had a mix of business and community events. On the Lowdown, we had 3 members of Kakrona Center, Inc. to discuss their upcoming events and New Year. Here's the news for Friday, April 7th, 2023. Gordon Buzzy Barton, a counselor at large since 2012, died on Wednesday the 5th at Brigham and Women's Hospital after a short illness. He would have been 71 next month and had pulled papers to run for a 7th term on the city council. Barton was a retired firefighter, working as one from 1976 to 2004. Additionally, he was the president of the local 739 of the International Association of Firefighters and lifelong Lynn resident. In a statement released by his family, quote, "On behalf of the Barton and Bradley family, we would like to send our heartfelt appreciation for the outpouring of support we have received over the past 48 hours. While we had hoped to get Buzzy home to Lynn, you all stepped up and brought Lynn to him. He loved his great city and continued to represent it with immense pride until his final hour," end quote. The Lynn Museum hosted Final Fridays, continuing their efforts to reach out to the community. Local vendors got the opportunity to display their work and connect with other small businesses in Lynn. Here's a clip from the event.
I'm Faye Phoenix, and my company is Moonrise Faye. Tonight, we are at Final Fridays at Lynn Museum, Lynn Arts. It's an open mic, it's an art share, it's a community gathering, and it's a vendor party as well. But 16 vendors here tonight. There is no vendor fee, and so they're providing an incredible resource to the community for artists who are just getting started, who are like maybe don't have many resources to table at an event that's full of people.
My name's Lauren Colonnade. I'm a worker for the Potters Guild for Peter Graham's Pottery on Western Ave at the Lydia Pinkham building. I just work for him and help him make the pottery. We're from Lynn. I had my wedding here in this beautiful place, and my sister's here with me tonight, and this is our first time doing this event.
My name's Nick Demakis. I'm an illustrator. I have a BFA from Montserrat College of Art. I'm born and raised in Lynn. Everybody likes what I do. I mean, it's bats, cats, squids, so I paint my cat in a Dracula outfit. He posed for it. I always wanted to do a Lynn event. I mean, I'm born and raised here. I hardly do anything in Lynn. I wanted to do stuff in Lynn.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we sign off?
Definitely Danica Thurston, the director of Lynn Museum, Janaea, who's running the museum at the moment for the vendor market, and Creative Collective.
The Alicia Hill Bingham Leadership Foundation hosted a fashion show on Saturday, April 1st. Sponsored by Glitterati, 13 high school seniors modeled prom dresses for a large audience and photographers. Here's more.
It's got me looking sharp tonight.
Prom season is near, and the Alicia Hill Bingham Foundation put together a pre-prom celebration for high school seniors.
Today we have a prom fashion show sponsored by Glitterati. We have 13 models tonight, ranging from high school to first year in college. Beautiful women who are going to be something. It was a beautiful event.
Each year, the fashion show helps support graduating seniors with college funds.
The funds raised for tonight will go to the 2023 scholarship recipient, which will be, the deadline for the application is May 1st. shows for adults. This is the 3rd annual fashion show, so I want to spice it up, and it's right before prom season, right? So why not get them pumped up with their dresses and get ready for the prom season?
Any donation made is one that will help shape the future of these college-bound seniors.
I just want them to know, the immense impact that they make just being here. I mean, every amount, really makes a difference. So I just want them to know that it's going towards a good cause, and I appreciate the support.
For LCTV, I'm Kyle Kabongo.
Former Lynn resident Brian Walsh was formally charged with first-degree murder, obstructing a police investigation, and improper conveyance of a body. He will now appear before the Norfolk Supreme Court and remains in jail until his court date. His wife, Ann Walsh, disappeared around New Year's Day on her way to the airport and was reported missing by her employer on January 4th. According to a CBS report, several items, such as a hacksaw, cleaning supplies, and a vaccination card with Anna Walsh's name on it were found by investigators. This combined with surveillance footage of someone who fit Brian Walsh's description throwing heavy trash bags into a dumpster at an apartment complex near his home, as well as Google searches he made regarding how to dispose of a body, were some of the evidence presented. The first event on Sunday the 2nd was the Concerned Citizens of Lynn vendor fair at North Shore Shabbat. LCTV had a table, as well as many other organizations. Here is more.
On Sunday, April 2nd, Concerned Citizens of Lynn hosted an indoor craft and vendor fair over at 151 Ocean Street. Many organizations showed up, and I spoke to several about why they chose to come to this event.
An email came out and I felt like I wanted to do more local events. I do a lot in Boston, some in Salem, but a lot in Boston. I'm always trying to do more events close to home, so it feels really good to be here. I lived in Lynn for a year, I spent a lot of time here, and I love Lynn, so it felt like the right thing to do.
We follow a bunch of Facebook groups about it, and we saw a post, and it was pretty close to where we live, so we decided to do something within the community.
We're local, we live in Lynn, so we thought it's a Lynn event, it's nice to support the Lynn events, and we figured we didn't have to travel and we'd give it a try and hopefully we'd meet some new people and get some new customers.
Describe your table.
It's super fun, bold, ridiculous jewelry made by me, and they're all different, and I never make two of the same pair, so they're fun. Everyone gets their own individual piece of handmade jewelry. Right now we go by Alakazam Crafts. Me and my friend Sam do it, so Zach and Sam, Alakazam, that's how we came up with that.
It's called like the Pokemon?
Yeah.
My husband and I put the table together, but it's actually my daughter Emily's business, Seriously Magical Creations. She's a crocheter, and she does a lot of crocheting, stuffed animals, pillows, dog beds. Her biggest #1 seller is her little stuffed animals, which are hippopotamus, giraffe. She's got some little whales. Everyone here has been amazing.
For LCTV News, I'm Josh Englander.
The Greater Lynn Photographic Association had their member exhibit for the 2nd time at the DeMarcus YMCA. Photographers in the exhibit, as well as spectators, came together to look at the 40 pieces on display. Take a look.
I'm Larry Dunn. I'm the president of the Greater Lynn Photographic Association. The Greater Lynn Photographic Association is one of the oldest clubs in the country. We were established in 1888. We have our home here in Lynn on Boston Street with our own building. This is the 2nd time we've had our exhibit here at the DeMarcus YMCA. It is a beautiful gallery here. The space is gorgeous. And as being a club that is based here in Lynn, we want to give back to the community and let them know about us and about the artistic work of photography. This exhibit has approximately 40 photographs from about 21 different members of our club. Our club in general, right now we have I think about 225 members. Our membership is open to anybody who is interested in photography. You don't have to be an expert. We have members from raw beginners to a Pulitzer Prize winning photographer. Our purpose is to educate and teach the art of the camera and photography. We're all about learning and getting better at our craft and educating each other and putting on exhibits like we have here in Lynn, showing the broad breadth of the members' interests in photography. Everything from wildlife, the bees, flowers, to landscapes, color, black and white. If it has to do with photography, we have somebody in the club who's interested in it. Drones, you name it, we've got it.
The Lynn Department of Parks and Recreation are now accepting applications for summer positions. This include park counselor, clinic instructor, supervisor, and special needs counselors. They are open to those aged 17 to 21 with hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays, and the program running from July 11th to August 11th. Applications are due by Friday, May 12th. To learn more about the positions and how to access the application, go to the Parks and Recreation page on lynnma.gov. New York Times bestselling author Allegra Goodman visited North Shore Community College for a reading and book signing as part of their Arts in April celebrations. A crowd gathered to ask questions and meet the author. Take a look. On Monday, April 3rd, North Shore Community College hosted New York Times bestselling author Allegra Goodman as part of an Arts in April celebration. Students, faculty, and members of the community came to listen to Ms. Goodwin as she discussed the inspiration for her writing.
Children's activities, whether it's dancing, running, sports, climbing, skating. The way that when you're little you really enjoy it, and then there's this sort of competitive part that creeps in. And if you can kind of maintain the joy after that. I was also really interested in the way an activity can mean something different for you when you're like in middle school, or when you're in college, or when you're an adult. Climbing has different meanings for Sam throughout her life.
She also read several short segments of her book. The audience was then encouraged to participate in a Q&A, where they asked questions spanning from her writing process to inquiries about specific parts of the story. Ms. Goodman ended the Q&A by sharing advice for any young writers in the crowd.
Watch things, be a watcher, be an observer. And then my other piece of advice is to read as much as you possibly can. The more you read, the richer your choices will be as a writer. You'll see what people have done, and don't think of it as like something intimidating to see what people have done, but think of it as you will then enter into conversation with what people have done, and that will enrich your work. I think the best young writers are the ones who observe the most and listen the most and read the most.
Participants got the opportunity to meet the author and have a book signed to finish the event. From LCTV News, I'm Dani Vittori. As part of Student Government Day, students from Lynn High School visited City Hall and heard from various members of the government. They learned more about the history of the city, met with people in different departments and committees, and participated in some games. Here is more from the event.
We're here today at Student Government Day at City Hall in Lynn. We basically got a chance to do a scavenger hunt around the City Hall, meet with people that are on committees, school committees, people that are part of the community, and I think it was a really great experience.
I've thought a little bit about what is it that we do here, and it's really special. It's something I'm really proud of. We're all here because as a world we decide that there's a lot of things that make sense to do together.
We talked about government, learned a little bit about that.
I think my favorite station was honestly the Jeopardy! We all got to compete against each other, have a little fun, and answer questions about the city.
It is an opportunity for community leaders to step up and get involved and take that next generation of leadership.
My favorite was definitely the debate because I like debating, but also like being on the chair committee was educational. We got to voice our concerns and really feel like as a student that people in our city care about us and our concerns. And it was really educational, just learning about the different government roles that people in the city play.
We're so excited for you all to do that. We're excited to share what we do every day with you today, and I can't thank you enough for your commitment to this city and this community. Thank you so much.
For the second year in a row and the fourth time in 6 years, Massachusetts is ranked first in the nation with the highest percentage of graduating high school seniors who scored a 3 or higher on an AP exam. Additionally, Massachusetts is a state which has seen the largest 10-year growth in Hispanic/Latino graduates taking an AP exam in high school. The state is working to make the exams and courses more accessible, especially for underserved communities, by subsidizing exam fees and offering more courses within the STEM field. Lynn Classical High School was also recognized as one of 6 schools to have at least a 30% increase over 5 years of African American and/or Hispanic/Latino test takers. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and an awareness event was held at City Hall on Tuesday the 4th. There were several speakers, including the program director of the YWCA Rape Crisis Center and Mayor Nicholson. Take a look.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Tonight we're doing a Sexual Assault Awareness Month proclamation. This is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, if you didn't know, the month of April. My name is Faustina Cuevas. I am the City of Lynn's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. I'm also a Senior Advisor to Mayor Nicholson. And I'm part of the planning committee representing the mayor's office that put this event together. This is an important event, and I just want to thank the North Shore Rape Crisis Center for sort of leading and coordinating this effort.
One of the things we talk about in schools is how sexual assault often involves both a physical or sexual violation, but it often also involves a trust violation, which makes it so much harder, often harder to heal from such a violation.
We want our survivors to know that we are here for them, that they're not alone. The Lynn Police Department as a whole takes these types of crime serious, and they are very dedicated to our survivors.
I, Erichson Seang, Mayor of the City of Lynn, hereby proclaim the month of April 2023 to be Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, and urge all citizens of the City of Lynn to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance. Thank you.
Wednesday the 5th saw a public health event as part of Public Health Awareness Week being put on at City Hall. Members of the community could get free blood pressure checks, as well as information about food services in Lynn. Here's a clip from the event.
So what we've got going on here is day 3 of this year's National Public Health Week, and we are celebrating food resources, and we also have some blood diagnostic screening going on. This ties into the focus on social determinants of health that we know impacts Lynn. We know from various assessments that like food and housing are things that impact the Lynn residents heavily. And this is some of the programs and the resiliency that we have here that we can offer to the city of Lynn in terms of programming. So we've got the YMCA, we've got Greater Lynn Senior Services, Phoenix Food Hub, our very valued partner, North Shore Physicians Group, or MGB, Energy. There was just a huge rush here where lots of folks came and took advantage of the drinks and the resources that we had, And in the end, we're happy to see it because that's community engagement. And as we were talking about earlier, we want to see folks starting to feel like City Hall is theirs, that they can come here for whatever they need. And we're really excited. You know, Monday we went on a community walk, and that was really great. That's really important to stay moving. Even today, part of this was Zumba. Tomorrow is mental health and sexual reproduction. We'll have some TikTok video also that's happening by Mary Wheeler of Healthy Streets, and lots of really cool things to come.
After 8 years in business, RF O'Sullivan's permanently closed their doors last Sunday, April 2nd. The original pub was opened in Somerville back in 1991 by Richard Sullivan, and the Lynn location opened in 2015 with Richard Sullivan II as the general manager. It was a family-run business, and the decision to sell came for a number of reasons, one of which being that Sullivan is retiring after more than 30 years in the restaurant business. His son, Sullivan II, owned several restaurants in Boston and began working for his father at the age of 14. While the decision was described as bittersweet by the family, they also agree it is the right time to move on to the next stages in their lives. A plan based on several requirements from the Federal Transit Administration, in addition to other federal organizations, and encompasses all forms of transportation operated by the MBTA workforce, data system, communications, rules, policies, and procedures, and quality management are the 4 categories prioritized in this plan. It also includes safety objectives for the next 3 years, as well as target performances for each mode of transportation. In response to 8 special directives by the FTA, the T developed several hundred action items, which are currently 36% done and are expected to be fully completed by the end of 2025. And now, the sports update. The Harry Aganis tournament also took place on the 1st at St. George's Church. It was the 66th annual, with teams from across this state and others gathering to play for an afternoon and enjoy some traditional Greek food. Take a look at the event.
It was a wonderful, wonderful turnout. We had great teams, great competition. Lots of people came back.
Nice. Everybody's been really friendly. We have teams from out of state, all throughout Massachusetts. Everybody's been super, super nice. Everybody's been really friendly, and there's been a lot of camaraderie.
I've grown up coming to this tournament, playing in this tournament. I know there's a lot of things that have to be done to put it together and get it going. After last year, we had come back after COVID. It was a little light, but this year it came back full force, and great experience for my first tournament as the priest here.
Of course, with COVID, it kind of killed it for a couple of years, so we're pretty happy that this year people are coming back.
I helped a little bit behind the scenes, but I give credit to John Meklis and Panos Kandakis for doing all the hard work and bringing everybody here today and this weekend.
We got wonderful homemade spinach pie, Greek spanakopita. We got chicken kebab. We got Greek sausage, which we call lokaniko, and then cheeseburgers and hot dogs.
Everything and anything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Chicken kebab salad and the spanakopita is number 1, and a lot of lokaniko.
Authentic Greek. We want everyone in Lynn is welcome to come and enjoy our events.
You know, what I hope they got out of it was a sense of community. This tournament's been going on for 66 years in honor of Harry Aganis, who lost his life very, very young, 26 years old. You know, we pride ourselves on this community and our culture and the Greek culture, and there's nothing like Greek basketball. So I think that's a really great thing for us, and I appreciate it. I think it's great.
This is where our community comes together in many ways, our fellowship.
We had the future All-Stars come and play, the little kids, and they're our future. So if we don't continue up these traditions and these tournaments, they're not going to have it, and we want them to have it, and we're going to pass it down to them one day. And it's so nice to see them come up the ranks and be excited to be a part of this tournament.
There was an elementary school all-star game this past weekend on Saturday, which gave kids the chance to shine on a big stage, as well as allowing parents to see their students go and play. Lynn Jets lacrosse began their season with a 13-7 loss to Malden at home. They made their first state tournament last year, and their goal is to do so again this year. The Jets are also looking to their younger players to pick up where they left off, as they had several seniors graduate. They then stomped Revere 13-2 on the road. The Lynn Classical boys baseball team began their season at 1-0 with a 7-3 road victory over the Revere Patriots. Senior pitcher and captain Kevin Whalen went 6 1/3 innings, only giving up 1 run compared to 9 strikeouts. In girls tennis, they fell to Revere 3-2 in a tough match, where only the first single and first doubles won their matches. Rams volleyball was then swept by Revere in 3 sets to begin their volleyball season at 1-0. Lynn English baseball picked up a win of their own, 15-6 against Medford. The Bulldogs were down 6-2 in the third, but scored 6 in the fourth to rebound and secure the win. They followed this with a tighter 10-9 victory over Revere. Their softball team then beat Revere in a shootout, 32-20 on the 5th. Their girls track and field team ran for a 63-59 win against Chelsea, while the boys team fell 80-42 to Chelsea. Both their girls and boys tennis teams won against Revere, the girls 3-2 and the boys 5-0. St. Mary's began the season with an 8-6 and 9-2 losses in boys lacrosse to Hull and Matignon. Brady Ailes had 3 goals versus Hull, but it was not enough to give them the victory. Their girls team won their first game of the season 14-10 over St. Joseph Prep, with Spartan Ava Nason scoring half the goals herself. Their softball team soared to victory with a 27-2 win against Madigan, where Spartans Brooke Maloney had a grand slam and Ange Catino hit a triple. Their baseball team was also victorious over Matignon 13-1, which included an 8-run first inning, while their tennis team was defeated 4-1 against Archbishop Williams. City rivals Kip and Lynn Tech battled in the first game of their baseball seasons, but the Tigers were the stronger team, earning a 28-6 win. Both the boys and girls track and field teams for Lynn Tech also won against Notre Dame Academy, 98-42 and 88-51. At 3-4, the Red Sox remain in last place in the AL East. They won 2 of 3 games against the Baltimore Orioles before being swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates, then winning their first game against the Detroit Tigers. Despite their rocky start, Adam Duvall earned AL Player of the Week, already having 8 hits, 3 home runs, and 12 RBIs. With a 122-114 victory over the Utah Jazz, the Celtics got their second win in a row and moved slightly in the standings, from 2.5 to 3 games behind the Milwaukee Bucks. Boston lost a tight game to the Philadelphia 76ers, 103-101, before winning 97-93 over the Toronto Raptors. Malcolm Brogdon led the way with 29 points, followed closely by Jaylen Brown with 25. There are now only 2 games left in the regular season. The Bruins tagged on 2 more victories against the Pittsburgh Penguins and the St. Louis Blues. On the first versus the Penguins, David Pastrnak was the star of the show with a hat trick off 8 shots on goal. A shootout victory over the Blues proved historic, as Boston became only the 4th team in NHL history to win 60 games in a single season. Despite blowing a 3-0 lead, Boston goalie Linus Ullmark stepped up, stopping all 3 of the Blues' shootout attempts and knocking St. Louis out of playoff contention. On the Lowdown, we welcomed 3 members of Kakrona Center, Inc. To learn more about their New Year celebrations and future events, here is the Lowdown. Hello and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and today we have on 3 guests from the Kakrona Center, Incorporated in Lynn. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And I'll ask you real quick, I think you said, Erichson, you were going to be the one to cover this. First of all, introduce yourselves.
Oh, hi. My name is Erichson. I'm one of the board members of the Kakrona. This is Johnson.
Hi, I'm Johnson Mao, the Secretary of Kakrona Center, Inc.
Hi, and I'm Linda. I am... My name is Linda, and I'm part of the board member for Kakrona Center.
Oh, great. And can you give a brief overview of kind of the main goals of the center, the main focus?
Yeah, sure. Kakrona Center, our goal is to bring awareness to the community that we want to share our culture, our heritage, and to practice a lot of resources and guidance for the community. Our goal is to bring the community together and find ways to help them.
Great. And then I'll ask all of you, Linda, I'll start with you. What goes into your role, like you're a board member?
For me, specifically for me joining Kakrona with Johnson was because I bring a lot of resources. Like I like to self-educate myself because I like helping people. So I do try to bring a lot of resources to the community with Kakrona.
Right. And
I try to do everything that I can, whatever he's doing, whatever she's doing. If they need a hand with something, I can help out with them. I can also I help with the Facebook page, and I try to advertise for the events that's coming up.
Yeah, our social media guy.
He's really good at that.
Very great at that. Yeah, Secretary, the goal is to help out, like Erichson said, whatever we can. We all come from different backgrounds, so what we bring to the table is how we can help run an organization that can come together to find resources and guidance. So for myself, I'm also a marketing director for a Rainbow Adulting Healthcare, and I'm also a MC for weddings and events. So I feel that with my knowledge, I bring the hosting and the talking and the administration part for the center.
And I have to ask, you were mentioning it before the show, but both you and you have on, you said, sort of traditional Cambodian clothing, if you wanted to mention that.
Yeah, so the Cambodian roots, it takes back in ancient days. We are very religious. We come from the Buddhist community. So when it comes to events and tradition, we like to dress up as kings and queens. So a lot of our outfits are shiny, a lot of jewelry, crowns. So we like to really stick out, if that makes sense. Very colorful. Each year represents another color for the Cambodian New Year's. So today I have on a traditional shirt. It's called Ao Pa, which means a tradition shirt. That's what it translates to. And we wear these on special events, as in weddings, Cambodian New Year's. We go to the temple, etc. So it's a really fancy shirt. It's like a tuxedo for the Cambodian community. And Erichson has on a scarf.
Yeah, this is the Khmer. So I think this is going to be aired on after the party, but we're hosting a Khmer party. And this is a Khmer. We wanted people to come to our fundraiser with their own Khmer and just represent the culture as we're fundraising.
Mm-hmm. And this is a modern shirt in Cambodia. They basically sew in the picture of Angkor Wat, which is a very sacred temple that's also on our Cambodian flag. The Angkor Wat represents us because it's still standing to this day. It was made back in ancient times. It's something with the particles and the formula of the stone that is still standing. So they actually put it together in one shirt, and it's really nice that he brought it out today. And just to add on with this scarf, back in Cambodia and Southeast Asia, the scarf is very important because it's a multi-tool for the community. You can use it to hold the infants, you can use it to wipe sweats, use it as a rope, We also have martial arts. Our martial artists use it as a weapon to either stop a threat or even grab a threat. So it's a multi-tool. And if you go to Southeast Asia in the countryside, you will see at least 90% of the community with their own grama. Different colors, different style, but this one here is more updated, really long and thick. This is a really great grama. So Erichson wanted to kind of share with the community today, and this is what we're going to be wearing Saturday along with other community members.
Listen, I love learning about it too, the traditional, the roots you have. And you'd mentioned, I think you said you've been in, not you specifically, but like the population has been in Lynn since about the 80s, and you're about 4%, you said?
Yes, Johnson did share that with us earlier, 4%.
Yep, 4% of the population in Lynn, and our community came here as refugees back in the 80s. I'm not sure the community knows, but we just want to do a quick brief to share how we came here. Back in the 70s, we dealt with a genocide back in Cambodia, where we had this gentleman, I don't even call him a gentleman, but he actually created a regime called the Khmer Rouge, where he killed millions of Cambodians because he didn't want any ties with westernized parts and westernized power. So a lot of our seniors, my mother, my grandmother, their parents had to go through a war where they had to survive. People were prisoners. And those who made it had to lie their way out, because if you were intelligent, if you showed any signs of power or smart or anything with glasses, they will kill you. So a lot of them had to lie their way out and find a way here to America. And luckily for us, in the 1980s, a lot of our seniors migrated here in the United States. The biggest Cambodian population right now in America is Long Beach, California. And the second biggest population would be Lowell, Massachusetts. And then third is us here in Lynn, Mass. So it's great to see how far we've come. I'm a Cambodian American. I was born here, but just to hear and see stories of what our people had to go through bring us a lot of ambition and compassion to help our seniors back. So I think that's what really got us younger generation involved, because we want to be able to help those who has been struggling and help them find a better life.
Definitely. And one of the big things you do that you have coming up is the Cambodian New Year celebration at the end of April. So it sounds like it's a huge event. Do you want to talk a little bit about like the planning behind it,
Oh, yeah,
how it
definitely.
works?
This is we started planning it at the Commons since 2011, and we wanted to do it at the Commons because before it was at the temple on Chestnut Street here in Lynn, but not everybody is Buddhism. They don't study that, or they could be Christians. So we want to have it in a nice middle location where anybody can come from different backgrounds and be comfortable at it. So this seems like to be, the Commons is like the center of the city, so it seems like a great place to have our festival there.
And you mentioned it before, and we even saw a few pictures where you have a parade, people can sign up to be vendors, sponsors, so people can really get involved if they
Yeah, we're just as all festivals, where as festivals you want to have music, entertainment, and food. Our festivals are known for grilling, so right when you park your car, you get out of it, you can smell the grill from down the street. The music is blasting, and it's a good opportunity for folks to showcase their talent and their business. Some folks are not fortunate enough to have a restaurant, but they do want the public to try their cuisine, so they do get involved. We also have other cultures as well. We did have like Haitian Creole and Spanish folk who sell food as well. So it's a big community festival where we love to get everybody involved, from vendors to sponsors to entertainers. And the parade. The parade is important in our culture because before we start any big event, we want to be able to attract the guards to bless us. So the parade is leaving from the Lynn Temple all the way to the Commons. And then from that parade, you'll notice there'll be a big van or truck in front, and it'll be Apsara dancers. Apsara dancers are goddess. They dress up as goddess, and they bless the parade. So they're bringing peace and happiness all the way to the parade. So it's more of like a community involvement. We have city councilors, the community, different folk from different cities who wants to be a part of it. So when the parade arrives to the Common, they go around around 3 times. The number 3 comes a lot in our culture, so they do 3 things in threes. So after 3 rounds of the parade, they'll park the car and they're going to bring the goddess to the festival, and that's when things will start.
That sounds amazing to witness. And I'll ask, you mentioned before that, what's the time frame for it, and then also your rain date as well, in case the weather decides not to cooperate.
The time for the parade, it starts at 9 a.m. So we are actually still looking for more people to be a part of the parade. So if anybody want to come down and be a part of the parade, you guys are welcome to come. You guys can email us at
Kakrona Center at gmail.com.
Yes, and we'll reach out to you.
You probably see that on the screen as well.
Yeah, and come down. We'll welcome you guys. We'll start at 9 o'clock. We'll leave the temple at 9 o'clock. We'll make our way to the Commons. The Commons starts at 10 a.m. So
till 6 p.m. Yeah.
It's free to the public, but bring money because the food is delicious.
Yeah. They're going to be selling food, plants, all types of items. We had a stand that was selling plants because some plants you cannot get out here. It gets flew in from like different states. So it's a real big festival where people can, it's like trading back in the days. You know, they would like to showcase what they have and to switch off with whatever everybody else has. We have a live band, Iron Cricket Band. They're going to be playing music, traditional Cambodian music. And the performance is what actually brings a lot of folks over, because our performance are traditional performance, such as operas. We have different acts of cultural dance. We have everything from like animal style dances to coconut style dances. So it's a really big cultural festival. For those who have never seen this type of performances, when they come, they'll probably be like, whoa, what is that? Why are they dressing like that? But again, this is going back to ancient times where they represent things as kings and queens and goddess. So we're going to be showcasing a lot of that at the festival.
Also welcoming anybody. We're also welcoming more shows. Anybody who wants to perform
more
modern arts out there. Just come out, reach out to us. Again, email us, and then we'll try to put you guys in on the show.
Yeah.
And before that, even as well, you also have the Cambodian flag raising at City Hall, which you've done before. There was a picture of it. But can you talk a little bit about the significance of doing so? Great.
Yeah, so I really love the fact that the city likes to get involved and to recognize our culture and our new year. We have an opportunity to have a flag raising. The flag raising is very important to our culture as well, because that's showing that we are being recognized, and see the flag raising up gives us a lot of hope, a lot of pride, and it makes us feel great about being a Cambodian American. So the mayor's office and the City Hall welcome us. They have different type of speakers there. We invite monks to do chants. We invite pastors to read verses off the Bible, and we have performances from the dancers. So it's an event where we're welcoming this Cambodian New Year. So the flag raising is like a symbol of like the start off, or like, you know, the gun that goes off before, you know, the competition. So that's what the flag raising ceremony symbolizes for us.
Great. It all does sound amazing, and we're almost out of time, unfortunately, but is there anything that I didn't mention or that you didn't get to say that you wanted to include now?
I think we're all set.
Probably just to recap that we are looking for vendors. We're still looking for sponsors. We would love it for anybody who wants to be entertainers, performers to join the event. We welcome our arms to the community. We are here as Cambodian Americans. We love the culture. We love everyone in the city. So we just want to welcome you to join us to make this event the event for the Cambodian and Southeast Asian community. And if there's any questions or any concerns, please do not hesitate to reach us. Telling Dani earlier, we have never been reached out before, so this is great to actually feel to be here and understand where the voice of the community can go to. So that's what I'd like to share.
We're actually really looking forward to this event, because the last time we had it was in 2019, right before the pandemic. So when the pandemic happened, we were planning it, and then the country shut down.
3 years.
So we haven't had it since 2019, so we're really excited.
So we call it the comeback, right?
The comeback, yes.
This is the comeback.
The comeback story.
Yeah.
Joe, it's lovely to hear about it. No, thank you again for coming on to talk about it. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
And once again, this has been the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Now, the community calendar. There will be a community blood drive on Wednesday, April 12th from 1 to 6 p.m. It is sponsored by the Lynn Public Health Department and will be held on the first floor of City Hall. Anyone wishing to sign up for an appointment can go to redcrossblood.com and type in Lynn. Flyers for the event are available in English, Spanish, and Khmer. Registration for spring Tai Chi classes is now open to the public. Beginner classes will be held on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. with intermediate classes on Friday at 11 a.m. In order to attend an intermediate class, a beginner class must be completed first. The classes are free to attend, and those interested can sign up online. They begin on April 11th and run until June 30th. Some benefits are improving flexibility and balance, as well as relieving stress and fatigue. Saturday, April 15th is one of several farmers markets being held in Central Square. There are 2 each month beginning in March and ending in June. This is the last one being held in April, with the next one taking place on May 6th. They accept a variety of payments, including SNAP, debit or credit cards, cash, and senior coupons. For more information on these events and all events listed on our community calendar, go to linntv.org. That is all the news for this week. For more on what is happening in the city, visit our website, linntv.org, for videos on demand, press releases, and interviews. Also follow us on social media at Lynn Community Television for updates and announcements. And go to Lynn Community Television on YouTube for our latest videos. I'm Dani Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.